going on, guys? Welcome back to the film room. This is my favorite part of each week because we get to teach the game of football. And when it's done right, it's beautiful. And I think sometimes football can be extremely complicated. It doesn't have to be. A lot of it's leverage, a lot of it's angles, a lot of it's ability to just count 1, 2, 3, say the alphabet, A, B, C. I mean, if you can simplify the game of football, then you can play fast. Then you can see what's working, what isn't, and you can start to execute at a high level. So this is Minnesota Northwestern. Minnesota, your West hopes are on the line. You know, they need some help, but got to obviously win this game early in the game. 3rd and 2. Northwestern driving. They got Evan Hull in the backfield. Dude's a stud. Love him as a back. They got a pretty good offensive line. That's the best tackle in all of football, and Peter Skoronski. But 3rd and 2, short yardage. What are you going to do? Okay, so this is big on big. We're going to run the ball. They're coming downhill. What do you do at the point of attack? So here you go right here. This is the first one. Can you walk back and win and force the back to have to make a cut in the backfield? That's the point of your defensive line. So let's watch it here. Fires off, bang, okay? When you see the shoulder pads lifted up, that's going to be a common theme here. When shoulder pads are elevated, you're not in a power position. You know, on a squat rack, when you come down, you're ready to fire up. That's when you're most powerful. Shoulder pads lifting up, you're done. So that's right there, and then we can watch. Here's lineman climbing on the 2 backers from Minnesota. Look at the shoulder pads. Bang, lift it up, point of attack. This is the ground, the line in the sand you're trying to defend. Mariano Sori-Marin. Let's not take on the full block. Let's take on half the guy and win at the point of attack. So one linebacker wins, another linebacker wins, and Evan Hull is just running into a brick wall. There's nowhere to go. All right, cool. What's this mean right here? 4th down, baby. 4th and 1. And Northwestern's going to decide to keep their offense on the field. Again, it's an attitude, all right? Sometimes you can have the beautiful scheme, you can have the right play call. 4th and 1, goal line. It's an attitude. Just look at the stances of this defensive line. They are loaded. They're pushing back into their feet to create dynamic power to be able to fire off and win at the point of attack. This is all about the point of attack. Look at, that's a motorcycle stance. He's ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. Again, it's an attitude. Let's check this out. Look at this. This one in short yardage, you might be wondering why they do that. Well, if you fire off and you put yourself down like this, essentially it's a defensive cut block. Look what that does. There's nowhere to run in the middle of the field. Evan Hull coming down for inside zone. Well, he's going to have to make a cut. Okay, you got a linebacker off the edge. He's aware of this block, so he's going to stay firm. And then as your defensive backs, they have to tackle. So these two guys, these 2 linebackers, they're going to squeeze. That's going to force Evan Hull to bounce. And then your D-backs, you got to make the tackle. Nowhere to go. Forces Hull to make a cut, actually gets a good piece of him, and then bang, look at that. Look at that. Look at him bring his hips right here. Watch him come through, bring his hips. Bam. Knocks him back. Evan Hull is a really strong running back, and the emotion, the guy's running off the field. It's awesome. It's an attitude, man. That's a huge play. Now in this game, 7 points was enough to win. And they got 7 points early. So they start the drive, 7 minutes and 40 seconds left. And what does Minnesota do? They love to run the ball. And they got a great one in Mo Ibrahim. I know Minnesota fans know about him, but I think it's time for more people to know about him. Now, this is just what they do is just run outside zone. And outside zone, it allows your back, he works laterally first. We just saw Evan Hull run downhill. Outside zone, your back works laterally. And then as he sees a vertical crease, he can put his foot in the ground and run. And he can run through arm tackles because he's got a lot of momentum. Northwestern's going to run a little game here. So realistically, he's manned up. The center and the guard are working here. These guys are working down here. And your tight end's going to cut this guy off. So you have a hat for a hat. Remember, these 2 are supposed to be working here. But when they run a game, it becomes a 3-man weave. You all 3 step. Everybody just steps laterally on the outside zone, and then you just sort it. Wherever they go, we'll figure it out. Whatever way these guys go, we're going to figure it out. So here it is. If you're running outside zone, that's great job by the tackle. Straightening up, we call it. Here's your guard working. Your center is now aware of this. There's the lateral path. And what do we say? Put your foot in the ground, read the hole, and go. Washing this guy by. Got a hat for a hat there. That guy's reached. We're going to work here. Receiver blocking. Receiver blocking. Such a key. We're going to throw you the ball. We're going to throw you the ball, Daniel Jackson. Receiver blocking, key. So there it is, and then you get Mo Ibrahim. I think I would, if I had one word to describe him, be a violent runner. A violent runner. You better bring something when you come into the hole to meet this guy. Bang, bang, inertia, violence, wham. You are going to be sore on Sundays when you play the Minnesota Gophers, because that guy Mo Ibrahim is like a cannonball coming out. So once again, we're just going to go outside zone, okay? Outside zone. Back path here, we're going to read it out, and then we'll work vertical. Honestly, what happens in outside zone, though, actually you call it for the cutback. The 49ers run this a lot. You work here, but then you end up going on the cutback. So you got double teams all across the board. Here's your double team, here's your double team. They're coming up to this backer. Tackles down. So this guy's unblocked. How do you account for this guy on the backside? Well, this is where your quarterback, even though you know you're handing it off, as a quarterback, you have to sell the read fake. Doesn't exactly bite on him, but we just need a little bit for Mo Ibrahim to get downhill. Look at the violence firing off. You can see the wall being built right here. Here's the hole. Look at the back path initially, but here's the whole backside. Excellent read. You see he's scanning, 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 and then he's going to come back and put his foot in the hole. There's Kaik Manis handling him just with the play fake. Sealed, 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 sealed. Excellent blocking. You're going to need to bring a friend. Then there's Mo Ibrahim. We talk about violence. Balance is another great word to describe his game. It's just so well executed. I just want to see this in real speed once again. Bam. Got to hit him clean. Got to bring some friends, because he is really, really hard to bring down. And they're just driving down the field, and they're making some plays, and they're starting to control the game. Let's go back to it, right? This one, it's still zone scheme. This one's not outside zone. This is downhill. So you can just count it for. If you're the tackle, you got no help out there. You got to take the widest, right? Here's your guard. Well, you got to take this guy, right? That's just basic numbers. Your center and your backside guard, well, you have to work here, right? You got numbers for everything. Tackle, tight end, here. You got to dig this guy out if you can. Watch it. Watch how it's executed. You're just stepping down in your gap. Key blocks here. Your right guard, right tackle. The way it ends up working out is these guys are just going to sort 1 to 2. Bang. Wall's built. They both have their eyes on the linebacker. Excellent technique. Right guard realizes, hey, he's mine. Tackle says, all right, I'll take him. Right up through the hole. Another great run. Okay, we're starting to impose our will. It's the very next play. Same personnel, same back. This one more of an outside zone once again. Again, just how do they know who to block? Well, you're the tackle, you're the widest, so he's got to block the widest. You're the guard, you got to block here. Center, you got to get a healthy piece of him and then work up. Guard, you're going to work with him because you're going to eventually take over this block, right? All right, tackle, tight end, we'll work. You got numbers for everybody. Great job. See, he's walled off. He's walled off. This is a great reach. And then a good back is going to push into the hole and then run up through the trash. He's got just, you don't have to have a perfect block, but oftentimes for an offensive line, cover the guy up, and then a good back has to run through arm tackles, and you'll see that here. 1 arm tackle, 2 arm tackles, and you're running right, knifing through the heart of Northwestern's defense. Let's see it in real speed again. You just get, what these zone plays allow you to do is you get momentum as a back. And that momentum up through the hole with good pad level, engaging your core, running hard. An arm tackle isn't going to do it. That's just running through a dummy. You can slice that down and you're up through. Really, to bring these backs down in Minnesota, they're so strong, they're so talented. You got to hit them square, and you usually need some help. It's just all, really, really hard to do. So here we are. Remember, we started this drive, about 8 minutes left, coming down on 3 minutes, almost a 5-minute drive after a 4th down stop. That's where you really just impose your will and you start to really gain control of the game. Here's your guy, Mo Ibrahim, back in. He's climbing up the leaderboards. He's making great plays. Let's get back to this inside zone concept. Look at the pad level right here. Here's your key block. Double team, bang. Double team, bang. These guys got to work. Look at, I mean, Northwestern has numbers. Okay, they got 4. They got 4. That's 8. You only have 5, 6. So you got 6 for 8. It's not going to be blocked perfectly. Look at the pad level right here. The eyes. They know if they just give Mo Ibrahim just a little bit of space, he's going to win. Watch him press this hole initially. Okay, that helps his lineman set the block there. And then he's going to do a little jump cut. Okay, see, these guys are all working downhill. That's going to help set their blocks. Really, he knows he wants to get there, but just the patience in the backfield, and then he makes the decision downhill. It's just, he's such a good back. I don't think he gets enough credit here in the Big Ten Conference for what he does as a running back. Look at it, patience, cut, cut, cut. And he makes the decision, he's downhill, he's in the hole, and at this point, this was all the points needed for Minnesota to win, and they scored it. They ended up scoring a lot more throughout the game, but this drive really, at this point, you've imposed your will, you've seized absolute control of the game, you take the lead, that's what did it, and a big part of it is this guy right here, Mo Ibrahim. Could watch him play football all day long. Appreciate you guys, we'll see you next week.